Hi everyone! In this short video, I will show how to create unit tests using BitDive. I have a small microservices application running, and BitDive is already connected to it. This is a fresh, clean BitDive workspace. I have just created a new user, so there is no data here yet. First, I will perform a few actions in the application we are testing using its UI, the same way a user or a QA engineer would execute a scenario. I will simply click around to generate real traffic for BitDive to capture. I will try to delete a student, then delete a teacher. The teacher deletion failed, and we got a 500 error. We will check what happened in a moment. I will request students for a course and generate a report. In short, I am doing a few different operations so that we have data in the workspace. That is enough for our demo. Now we go to the BitDive workspace and we can see all microservices that make up the application and how the calls went through. Report, faculty, OpenAI, plus dependencies like Kafka and Postgres. Let us open the HeatMap. Here you can see all captured calls in a structured view per method, along with the key metrics. First, let's look at the failure from the teacher deletion request. It returned a 500 internal server error. We can drill down to the exact methods and SQL queries to understand where the failure happened. Great. Now let us create a test. I open the Testing tab, create a new test, and give it a name, for example, Unit Test 1. Next, I choose the test type and select the operations from what we executed. Let us pick Update Student, Get Students for Course Report. The Get Students for Course Report call is especially interesting because it is fairly complex. After selecting an operation, we choose the specific call, meaning the recorded trace. Each call can be opened and inspected. You can see the input arguments, the returned values, and the full execution flow across methods. You can go down to very fine details, including specific DTOs, what is passed between microservices, methods, and classes, and which SQL queries are executed against the database. I will select a few calls here. Now I do the same for Update Students. I will take the first two, basically. Done. And now I click Generate Test. The test is created. We can open it and review it. Inside, it contains all the data, mocks, parameters, and everything required to run it. Next, I copy the test identifier. I already have the faculty service open in my IDE, and it is configured to run via BitDive Replay. These are standard Maven tests, JUnit. I paste the identifier here. If you have multiple tests, you can list them separated by commas to run a full set of scenarios for regression testing. After that, I simply run the tests with Maven. You can also run them from the command line. As a result, we see that 116 tests were executed because inside those calls we validate each method, and the call chains can be quite deep, so all the checks add up. To see the details, I will run the test in the usual developer-friendly mode, and here we can go through each method and each operation and see the comparison, what was expected and what actually came back. This applies to all calls and every method. In other words, these are full back-end unit tests created with mocks from recorded traces in just a few clicks. The key point is that these are regular Maven tests. You can run them locally or in CI/CD using the standard mvn test command. And it really works without writing any additional test code. That's it. Thanks for watching.